YouTube. I hope you're doing well. I wrote down some thoughts I have on same-sex attraction. I'm going to read them in a little bit here. I'll wait and see if somebody joins me, and if not, I'm going to say what's on my mind, and then it'll be out there for whoever, whenever. But just a moment, I'll wait here a bit. Maybe I'll give it like mm, a couple minutes to see. It's typically what I talk about anyway because of the confusion with people in the world and not understanding the spiritual warfare and how they are attacked, or the ones that will ignore it, whether it's for monetary gains. I don't mean on a slant platform, I mean in general in your life, whether it's money or whatever you can gain by keeping your silence or whatever the case may be. So, yeah. Here's to you and here's to me. And if we ever disagree, here's to you anyway. Um, yeah, I guess I'll start. Same sex urges, I wrote, said not to be physical, right? But it's displayed as such. Oh, okay. But, or, what did I mean by that? How they feel inside. Keep in mind, this is just my thoughts. Might have something to do with my medical and my, counselor training and spiritual studies. But anyway, so then it's emotional, it's a mental state. Do we agree on that? I mean, yeah, there's variations on how people are born, but their chromosomes don't change. So we can just agree that it's something that somebody is feeling inside, correct? Okay. If I'm wrong, hey, pipe in. Tell me why I'm wrong, you know? Okay. Do you argue with God? Jacob wrestled with God, and something tells me that he's not the only one. It is a spiritual war created by the author of Confusion to harm God's elect. Period. Okay. Can you make a list of why self control in any given situation would be a good thing? That's a yes or no question. Can you learn and teach something very unpopular? That's also a yes or no question. You just described one of the reasons for time keeping and the Watchman. Let's let you ponder that for a second. Let's speak about Nancy's, another nickname for a Nazi, and what the gender confusion being a part of their ploys with any given country, a part of the agendas. Um, it's no coincidence. So I'm asking, who do you serve and why? And if you're on the fence about this when it's concerning everybody's heart and soul on this planet, not just the ones that are crybaby and that there's some freakazoid. Hey, have sympathy for the devil all you want, argue with God all you want, but the laws are in his book, and I'm teaching the laws of God, not the laws of the God wannabe that's in place in this world right now that I'm fighting. That's who I'm fighting. I'm not battling against flesh. Hopefully, it's a spiritual thing. You damn right it is. And anybody that's sympathizing with the Baphomet figure and that type of confusion out there with people, that's who you are, and that's where your sympathies lie. And that's the end of that. That's the end of that discussion right there, isn't it? I'm not going to hurt you. Don't hurt me. I have a right to teach biology the correct way. And somebody can speak that they're logical, but when you're teaching ill logic and what will promote a sickness to the next generation, well, I'm going to say something about it. Here I am. These things just don't happen by accident, when knowing Kabbalist, whether other people know somebody is or not, wearing your red string or your bracelet or whatever. I'm not blind and I'm not stupid. But even without that, I would know because of the intent, you know? Oh, speaking of time, do you know what I think those writ- wrist watches are in ancient Sumerian times? It's got a circle, and then within circle, it's got 6 lines with a dot in the middle, and it's raised. If you were to put that in the sun, like a sundial, you would be able to tell the time of day right on your wrist with a walking sundial. Isn't that interesting? That's just a theory. I can't prove anything, but I've seen how they're made, and it made me think of sundials, and it's like, wow, I can tell the time of day with this. Whenever you have a raised portion in the middle of a circle and the lines, you can see the stick in the middle. It's an old Indian trick. You take and draw a circle, put the stick in the middle, and then they made 4 lines. You can go right down to minutes with a sundial. So try it. Draw a circle, put a straight stick right in the middle, and then draw your 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, your 9 and your 3, and fill them in if you wanna do the whole thing, but you can tell the time of day by that. It's remarkable. I do it in the snow when I was a kid too. It works. So a watch without having a watch. Who knew? The Native Americans. I knew all my life, but that's pretty cool, huh? That bag that Inky carries, I think, is like in the scriptures that says not to bring your purse or a script. That's indicating that he brought his magic here. That's what I think, you know, and he wasn't supposed to. All right, we can't prove anything unless we were there, you know. I have a dress on underneath this. Maybe, one of these men out here wanna borrow my pretty dress, huh? I bet you do. This isn't. This is over it. It's a sundress. I was out getting some sun a little bit ago, walking and thinking, getting the mail and wondering, uh, I say if it's going to actually touch somebody's heart or if they think that there's some kind of this malice or hatred. Not at all. Never. If I'm gonna get ugly, somebody, I'm not gonna disguise it as something else. I'll make a video and get just straight up fucking ugly with you. I'm not one to beat around the bush about anything. Mm. I hope you're all having a good day when you see this. I really am. And I don't have any bad feelings for anybody, even if I oppose what they think. I'm not going to sit there and get all heated about it, lathered up like an old horse that got ran too hard. Yeah, that was towards somebody. A little mean, huh? Yeah, just a little. Hey, throw it back at me. I can handle it. You know, just don't yell at me. I'll come and yell at you right in your face. I'm serious about that. I don't take that kindly at all. And you wouldn't be the first person that I've said I'll come and see you when I did. So, yeah. There was somebody else that's a head Luciferian in this United States that was calling me a tranny and threatening the life of a friend of mine right then and there and trying to scam women, trying to get money out of women reading gematria. I mean, I was going to send him a care package too, but I just didn't have the credit card that he wanted me to write some funds out for him. But I had all kinds of things and some cash I was going to put in a box, and that wasn't good enough. Isn't that something? But anyway, so back to the fact, and Doug would have drove me too. I wouldn't have even had to drive, but I was ready to get in my car and go confront some shit. And no, I don't have fear like that in nobody. If somebody laid their hands on me, I would rip you up with my bare hands. In fact, hand. And I wouldn't tell you how, but you would not expect it. You wouldn't even get to me. You'd go to strike me and you'd be hurt. And I am that quick. Think what you want. I am a master, a master of masters when it comes to martial arts and actually affairs of the mind. But my best and my strongest suit is my heart. I really know that where somebody might be thinking they're speaking from their heart out of compassion when you're not putting all the pieces of it in perspective. But you think you are, and I know you think you're doing right, but it's not the whole picture. And there's a reason why there's precautions in life. There's a reason why we would have self control in areas, you know, urges like if I want to quit cigarettes or whatever, you know. So one other time I had smoked some herb on, oh, I don't know, one of my videos. And I have a really nice picture of a plant I had, but now it's legal in my state. It wasn't when I did one other time, but Yeah, I don't need to do that to prove anything to anybody, but I do know that, I know how something treats my body, how it helps me. I also do know that, some of the pharmaceutical grade THC cannabis that is out there is some of the most dangerous stuff I've ever seen. I've seen people just lose their minds smoking it, really, and it makes me wonder what the government's putting in the stuff that they're legalizing in my state too. I'm not, I don't need that, I have friends, but, I'm not really adventurous enough to probably wanna do that unless I knew exactly where it was coming from. Like, if it was, like, Colombian gold or red or Acapulco gold or which is okay, but not as good as the Colombian. Ugh, it's almost like a like a Cuban cigar if you smoked other cigars and or, Havana, you get a good Havana. Oh, just the flavor or the smell. It's like Doug's got these ones that are, um, they're cherry and something else, but it smells really good, yeah. So, but yeah, the spiritual war is really real, and if people wanna buy into the people that are, acting out of sorts of what constitutes a real family, it's their spiritual war against God and the people that have faith in God and are guided by Him, not the ones that aren't. So there is no argument. I don't need you to go I don't need to tell you you're gonna go to hell or you're not gonna see me in heaven, or I don't need to tell you that. What would it matter? If you don't wanna be in the hereafter with me, I probably don't wanna be in the hereafter with you either. This is probably a good enough meeting for those sorts of minds. I don't have an argument there. I don't know why everybody's gonna make an argument out of all this, you know? Why are you making a fight where there isn't a fight? That's what I wanna know. What's your reason for it? I give you medical reasons, I give you spiritual reasons, I give you emotional reasons, and no reason I give you is reason enough, so what the you want out of me, you know? I'm not gonna change my mind because in my decades that I've lived, I can see the progress in my spiritual closeness with my father, our father, that a lot of people don't have in the sense and the common sense and the connection that gives me with other people that are of that mindset. So you're not. And if you think that you're God unto yourself, I ask you again, make me a raindrop. Just a raindrop, not osmosis, something not a cloud from God that's already there, His material. I'm talking you, God man. You make me a raindrop. You prove to me that you are not only made in His image, but you are of that with that power. You wield that. You show me that. Prove that to me. I'll shut when you do. Because I know the person who can make that raindrop. And I'm telling you what I'm telling you is true out of the love of my heart and guiding people in the right way as a excellent mother and an excellent grandmother. I'm not talking mediocre. I'm talking above board like you would have never known. And people have witnessed that. So this isn't just me blowing my own horn. This is one of the smartest, most attentive mothers that you'll ever run across, if not the most. And that's the love in my heart for everybody. So I'm not playing here. And if I sound a little vicious sometimes, that's why it's out of love. But don't yell at me because you're going to open up a can of worms you can't handle. You can handle it with your mouth, but spiritually, you cannot handle me. You might be a lot smarter than me in some ways, but not with the depth of my heart. And the guidance that it takes for everybody, not just a select few in the world that are adverse to what a family is, preverse, no matter how you call it. Abnormal? What's normal, right? A lot of things normal in Satan's world here, isn't it? A lot of people are waiting for him to rise on his throne. Hello. Anybody notice that there's other dark horses on this planet that came to remove his ass from the true king's throne? Anybody noticed that things are a little different in the world? It's a big old war going on, and it's not over in the West that calls himself West from the East. I think we would be the West, but not according to Europe, whatever. I always thought that was a little odd anyway when people say that, Yeah, and I also heard somebody say that women bodybuilders look like men. Mm, they don't know how to bodybuild then, evidently, because a woman's body, even after, and like I told you, I was doing not deadlifts, not just straight up, but over my head with 100 or 80 pounds when I weighed 100 pounds. And I did 10 repetitions of them when I was 9, and my body looks feminine, you know? I have injuries on my arms right here and here on both of them right now that I'm recovering from, but and I've been doing push-ups for that, but, yeah, I do, usually every day, 30 of them. So, for a year and a half now. I mean, I've exercised all my life, it's just that I had injuries where I couldn't do a whole body workout, I just have to work out things like a lot of people do, just your mouth and your brain. Well, that's good. That's a start. No, I'm just kidding. Look, I really am. That was a really bad joke or a low blow either way, you know. Like I told, just don't yell at me and I'll be cool. I could even almost deserve an apology from somebody that's misrepresenting my meanings in my life because I still would never hurt a soul or call for any harm towards anybody. Yes, it is about the children. They're very impressionable. So what impression do you want to make? Do you want to make the impression that things should go on like this for eternity? For this world and think that there's no medical or spiritual ramifications for it. I'm asking you that. It's simple, or answer rather. Answer me. It's pretty simple. Um, you know, you might be doing like me up betraying everybody in your world because you stand alone on something, you know? Do they still love me? Did they ever? That's the question. Oh, like what? I got a big scarlet letter on my head because I hold values and virtues that other people might not. So what? Now I'm some kind of hoe or I'm some kind of brutal, uh, animalistic creature because I don't approve of little boys in dresses that are going to be sexually anally raped by men and women who want the younger the better and are pushing for it, and the agendas that are helping them achieve their goals of do what they want to do with anybody and not be held accountable. Do you honestly think that if you mess up or I mess up in this world, I mean really leave an impression on somebody else that might not be the right thing for their spirit, if I do something or you do something like that, that I'm not gonna be held accountable for? That's another question, by the way. Also a yes or no. What do you believe? Do you believe that you answer to nobody? And I will leave it on that because that's a serious no. You either believe that you answer to somebody for your actions in this world, or you believe you're only a one time, one trick pony and you answer to no, Satan. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at, y'all.